We talked about Blom yesterday, but we did not go deep into it. And after reading your comments and also listening to the interview with Rob Moore and Andile, it's making me start to look at Chiefs and go, there's something fishy here. Because here's the thing, we've had stories like this before. Uguti Chiefs does not want to pay certain players, and we've dismissed them. And one good example of this player is Upule Extend. Siyeke-ke kaPule Extend because ngathi indaba esithe ukubandladlanyana and go straight to the matter kaMaluleka. Umaluleka was a very important player to Chiefs. He was significantly important in our title chasing season where we lost it on the last day, and he ended up joining his Sundowns. Now when the name George Maluleka is mentioned, the reaction from Kaizer Chiefs fans is just pure hate and disgust because what's she, why are we Sundowns? But then Maluleka comes out and he says, I asked for imali and the Chiefs did not offer me imali. And now, a few months after Maluleka came out and said that thing, now seqhamuka indaba kaBlom. Now all of a sudden the question is, was Pulexton lying? Was Maluleka lying? And it's not just those two players. There are more people that we have had with each Chiefs should is selective ekutheni who can they increase the salary for and who can they not? Because it doesn't make sense to me ukuthi why would they not increase the salary kaMaluleka at that time? Because even if they had to increase the salary yakhe to make sure ukuthi he stays for another year or so, but they didn't, and Maluleka ended up leaving. And you're not gonna tell me ukuthi Chiefs did not have imali esile at the time, because we were paying abantu imali eningi, and then a year after that we then signed uDoli, who was on a higher salary as well, which means imali yayikhona ukuthi just didn't want to pay to Maluleka a significant enjalo. And namanje uBlom last season ubedlala almost every game. The previous 3 seasons uBlom has been so instrumental to Chiefs, but now usefuna imali and then abasamnikeza. Ngizokhuluma ngento yesibili ukuthi the story obviously kubukeka ngathi no, it was leaked by agent yakhe so that then he can use it as a way to come and say, oh, I'm here to defend my player, blah blah blah, or whatever. Okay, let's say it was leaked. Let's say it was leaked by agent yakhe to try and put Chiefs under pressure. But why do we have to get to that point? Why do we have to get to a point where Chiefs must be pressured by releasing izinto to the media or making sure that they trend on Twitter so the Chiefs can end up paying attention? Why is it ukuthi they can't just pay umdlali imali ayideservayo? How does it happen ukuthi kunomdlali kwi-Chiefs who gets almost, or according to Rob Moore, like 5 times the salary kaBlom, yet that player plays less and that player hasn't even played for Bafana Bafana? How is it that can even be happening? Like, how are we even in a place where kuthiwa contract negotiations are stalling? And people are making it seem like these leaks makhulunywa ngama-contract, it's a new thing. It's not a new thing. Liverpool no Salah ugcine isayinile contract, but his agents were very vocal. No, Liverpool are not paying the money, so there's a possibility ukuthi Salah might leave. Now it's up to the Chiefs manje ukuthi how much do they really value uBlom? Because ngizokhuluma about some of the consequences of what is happening kwi-boardroom later on kwi-video, but njengamanje into engikhuluma ngayo ukuthi why does i-Chiefs need i-reminding ukuthi uBlom ubaleke kangakanani? Why is that a thing esizoyenza manje i-habit yethu ukuthi Chiefs will not perform and will only start playing well just because abalandeli sebebhikishile and submitted a manifesto? Why is it that the Chiefs, before they fire or coach or make changes, kumele abalandeli bazibashise itulo? Why are we not just making changes and making right decisions? It confuses me ukuthi how is it that izinto that are so obvious and that are seen by everyone else, Chiefs doesn't see them? And I also want to talk about some of the fans who are now basically saying asimncenga uBlom akahambe utoxic blah 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 blah. Okokuqala, Blom has not said anything. Blom has not said a word. Blom, every time he's been called upon, he has delivered. well, he didn't have such a great match against Royal AM. But whenever he has played, and not too good if someone else had a good game, now they were not playing good games. But why are we making it seem like manje uBlomu huyo uphumile washo interview? It's not him. And now people forget, see, ungrateful sometimes as abalandeli. Umdlali angafika perform for 5 seasons and then abe negame eyodwa ebhedayo, and then some story about him comes out, all of a sudden sesiyamjikela. I know Chiefs has not responded, but Chiefs does not really have a track record of being transparent with us fans. I mean, a simple thing is updating us about Uguti. I was still gonna sign another player. What's happening with Udove? What's happening with Ama contractor? For crying out loud, Chiefs doesn't even tell us as fans Uguti ubani ozobe available nge-weekend, ubani ongekho available. Ama teams kusimple ukuthi kuyaziwa ukuthi futhi angathi ama teams ngani nenkinga esinayo nje South Africa, but as a big team we're supposed to know these things, and we're supposed to get ama updates. But the Chiefs is not the greatest team in being transparent and letting fans know. So bazositshela kanjani about indaba kaBlom if in these other issues they are not even bothering to tell us. And I want to talk about indaba yama development players, because I hear ukuthi the contract that he's on right now, why sign 3 years ago? You don't need to be smarter than whoever. You don't need to have a degree in economics to know this. But in to inflation, for starters, before school he signed a different contract 3 years ago and he has performed, which means value that should earn him a better contract. Not to mention when kumele likhuphuke salary yakhe because kune-inflation emhlabeni. But ngeke bethu ungitshela ukuthi uBlom 3 years ago basamvaluisha at the same price, or at a price that's just gonna bump his salary maybe 100% at this point. Because at this point I'm convinced ukuthi salary kaBlom mhlawumbe 15,000, and if uBlom ethi ufuna u500% increase kwi-salary yakhe, that's 15, 30, 45, 60, 75. My whole 15,000 ethi ufuna u75,000 extra ukuze ezohola 100,000. I don't think that's unreasonable. I don't. Kungasho ukuthi it's 500%, but back then they were taking a risk on a kid ebebengamazi ukuthi uzodlala ne-PSL. But now he has become a man who is performing kwi-PSL. So ngisho kuthiwa ufuna u500% increase or 75,000, still it's something that he deserves. He has earned it. Ama performances zakhe has earned him that amount of money. But manje we are not doing that. Why is that the case? Why should we pay abadlali imali encane noma sebeyiphrovile? Because I understand ke mhlambe mangathiwa ubenikezwe imali because encane because kusalindwe ukuthi ayiprove. Useyiprovile. So salindeni. If you're enjoying this video, please like it. And I want to move on to this thing yokuthi apparently, as I've been saying, Samuel Shabalala. Oh, by the way, you also agreed nami kule nto yokuthi uBlom apparently he wants to play as a defensive midfielder. Blom wants to play as a defensive midfielder. That's what his agent said. And we've seen ukuthi Blom does play better as a defensive midfielder than as a right back. And the Chiefs does not have a defensive midfielder. Chiefs did not sign a defensive midfielder. Whenever Blom has been played as a defensive midfielder, he performs. We saw it against Arrows last year. We saw it with CAF Champions League the other season. We saw it quick game against Richards Bay when we were down to 10 men. Blom wangena also like defensive midfielder. You know what happened with Cape Town City? He didn't play. You know what happened with Stellenbosch? He wasn't even ebenchini. Kunganikezwa ke boga story kuthiwa ulimele blah blah blah, but nangu Mabiliso naye he's gone kuMaZulu and he says he was never injured kwi-Chiefs. So someone lied to us again and said Mabiliso was injured. Now we're finding out good Mabiliso was not injured. So kushuthi thina senziwe yilima kahle kahle. I'm getting angry as I'm continuing with this video because I'm realizing ukuthi as much as the Chiefs ingakalikhulumi inside lab, it's difficult for me to believe anything that comes out of the Chiefs, because in abazoyenza they will just make it seem like it's this agent Rob Moore who's manipulating Blom, or it's Rob Moore who's making Chiefs appear as a bad team. But the thing is, we've seen ukuthi Chiefs management are not doing us justice. They are not giving us the signs that we want as fans. Sekuyoze kulama ukuthi abantu bajikela uZwane, because even now at this point I'm kind of angry at him uZwane ukuthi if ngempela this is the case, what the hell, man? Like, honestly, what the hell? I just don't get it. Like why are we is this the thing? Yokuthi manje umdlali angathi, I know ukuthi contract is between Blom, agent and the Chiefs. But as a coach, you need this player. He's an influential player. He's a good player. He's one for the future. He can be ukapteni. Mfano khulele Soweto, iChiefs uyayithanda. Ne-agent yakhe ishilo ukuthi he doesn't want to leave iChiefs. But iChiefs are not doing him right. And the thing is, quick game Sundowns, I know Blom was being played as a right back at that game, but it could have been played as a defensive midfielder. Tatu Solomon's umdlali as a right back. Usehot or whoever could have played as a left winger because Wailemele Velo Dupree. Because Solomon's didn't fit left wing, and then kwaba message. Yikho sagcinisiwe yonke into wasn't happening kahle. And uBlom kuyafakwa mayidingwa, but somehow unokunyiswa ischeme uNange. How is uNange playing ahead of uBlom? Position esesimbonile ukuthi uBlom can play. How is that even happening? How is uBlom being benched for Cole ozokhathala cramp, and then sekumele kushintshe ukufaka omunye umdlali, wasting ama-subs ngabe sishintsha in other positions that will have greater impact thina sibhizi shintshana nama-defensive midfielder because umuntu usemdala and can't give us a full 90 minutes ekubeni kunomuntu omncane ongayidlala leyo position. And it's where I start to think, wait a minute, uBlom is a Zwane boy. uBlom udlale under uZwane, and under uZwane, under uHunt udlalile wadlala kahle waqhutshekiswa. But all of a sudden this season usehlaliswe ebhenchini. It makes me suspicious. It makes me think, is there a possibility yokuthi uBlom, the things that are happening in boardroom are actually translating, or they are being told to uZwane ukuthi ungamdlali? And because if that was the case ukuthi uBlom uhlaliswe ebhenchini as a punishment yama contract talks, uZwane ngempela ngiyomjikela kwamina because that's not fair for him if he did that. I'm not saying he did that, but I'm saying it wouldn't be right if he allowed Chiefs management to do that, because then kushuthi udayisa ingane, udayisa icareer yengane. And I hope that's not the case, because if that was the case, it's embarrassing. And the Chiefs should either come out, but it doesn't matter. Me saying they should come up to the statement, they can still lie. For all we know, Rob Moore could be lying. Why? But engwaziyo ukuthi there is no way, we don't want to know the exact salary, but there is no way that there can be someone who's performing less than uBlom who's earning twice as much as uBlom. At this moment, he's earning 5 times as more as uBlom, and by the time Chiefs gives Blom what they want to give him, he will still be earning half the salary of someone that he performs 5 times better than. How is that fair? It's not. Tshelen guys ukuthi what you think about this. Lento liyangidraina, iyangicasula and ngiphatha kabi. And I hope Chiefs does justice, because right now they are continuously seeming like they are not doing justice to how this club should be run. And it hurts us fans. I read my comments and ngibona izinto ezibuhlungu, inhliziyo yami zibe buhlungu ukuthi why is the management not being decisive in certain things, and why are they letting so many people get hurt? Ngabe bayafix izinto, ngavele ngaba serious, ngaba deep. But I hope they sort this out, and I hope they sort this out. Guys, ngitsheleni what you think, comment section. I will see you on the next video, and until next time, remember, ikhosi aliphela umoya.